I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. Mea culpa. Oh my gosh. Hi, James from engVid. I want to do a video to help you with a word that is so ubiquitous. I gave you a nice vocabulary word there. It's everywhere. People do it, especially in Canada, like, oops, sorry about that. Sorry. To apologize. And then we use it to apologize, but the problem is this. You don't always have to apologize. What? And sometimes an apology isn't strong enough for what you want to say. So this lesson is to help you stop saying sorry in the way that people throw it out, and it loses its power. And that's important because it's a great word to use when it's used properly. But I'm going to teach you how to use it. Actually, I'm going to teach you other things to use so you can still use sorry, even though I said stop using it, but you'll have better alternatives to let people know exactly what you want to communicate. Cool? Let's go to the board. And E's crying, and I just want to clean that up a little bit. There, E. Okay? All right, let's go to the board. So, why should you stop saying sorry? Well, let's start off with, first of all, sorry is a great word, and it means that I recognize that I have done something wrong. And that's very important. There are people out there who can't say sorry because they feel it's weakness. But really, when you're saying sorry, you've done something wrong, and as a human being, you want to improve. So it's a good thing to say, hey, I'm sorry, I messed up. I want to learn how to improve. Help me. Cool? But sometimes you don't need to say sorry. You don't need to apologize. It's just you need to excuse yourself because it's not something that's terrible that you've done. And other times when you say you're sorry, it's because it's really heartfelt. And that word won't really get that message across. And whether you're a native speaker or a student learning English, this lesson will help you bridge the gap to communicate much more effectively a powerful idea that if not you've done something wrong, you feel badly that something has happened to someone you like or love. Let's go to the board, shall we? All right. So sorry, it's a great word. It means to recognize that I've done something wrong. We got that. But let's talk about a light mistake. You know, a light mistake. Yeah. Because sometimes, you're, whoops, can't do that. I just did it. I said, whoops. Whoops. Yeah, the cap wasn't on. I spilled some water. Whoops. It's water. In about 5 hours, I'm not even going to touch this. It's going to disappear. You will not see the water. It will be gone because the sun or the light will dry it up. Whoops. When you break something or you drop something, you can say whoops. Water is not important. Would I say this if I dropped red wine on a white carpet? No, that's not a whoops. Okay? But also, let's say you drop something by accident, oops. You don't have to say, sorry. Sorry for what? What did you do wrong? Right? That's that one. The next one is, my bad. You made a mistake. The capital of Canada is Toronto. Oh, my bad. It's Ottawa. What are you going to apologize for? You made a mistake. This is not something that you need to apologize because it's a terrible thing. It's just a little deal. These are light mistakes. You don't need to say the word sorry. Sure, you can say, sorry, I dropped water on your carpet. Or, sorry, I made a mistake in saying that Ottawa was not Toronto was the capital of Canada. But nobody really cares that much. It's just, boom, insignificant, move on. These literally tell the other person, it's not a big deal, don't worry about it, but I made a bit of a mistake. That's cool. Next, sorry about that is similar to my bad. You're saying my fault. Like, sorry about that, because maybe you interrupted someone. They were talking about, I did it, and you came in, and you, oh, sorry about that, I interrupted you. I didn't mean to. Please start again. I'm not trying to be rude. I did it, I wasn't thinking. Maybe I was excited. So then I kind of jumped in there. And I say, sorry about that, because I realized I made a mistake. Sorry isn't necessary, but we do say sorry about that to say what I just did. It's still light. These are light. So you got 3 light ones you can use. Now, let's get into the territory of where sorry actually sits, where you've recognized you've done something wrong, all right? And it's not just a whoops, I dropped water on a plastic floor that will dry. We're going to come here, okay? Now, when we do this one, I'm going to start with excuse me. Excuse me has 3 meanings. One is a social no-no where you say, oops, sorry. So, for instance, I'm talking to you about, excuse me. Oh, geez, excuse me. Yeah, it's funny because excuse me sometimes, it's like, okay, I did something that's socially like, passing gas is not really socially acceptable when everyone's drinking wine in a circle and there's you say, excuse me, I had beans last night. Oh, great chili, bad on the stomach. Excuse me, okay? You don't need to say, you could say sorry, but it's not like you killed anybody, but it gets across like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to do that. So that's a social no-no. How about this one? Let me go. Like, let me go. If you're sitting at a dinner table and your phone rings and, a doctor's calling about your wife or something, I don't know, you got an appointment you have to go to, you might get up and go, oh, please, excuse me, I have to leave. I've got an appointment that I have to go to. Why do you have to say you're sorry? Like, I didn't want to do this. I don't know how this happened. No, man, it's just, please excuse me, I have another appointment I have to go to. Yes, I don't really think I did something wrong, but I had something pre-planned and I have to cut my visit with you short. Please excuse me, right? That's okay. We also use it in the same thing, to interrupt. I'm talking, you're talking, and maybe you're saying something that's full of, no, let's not say that. That would be rude, and I don't want to have to apologize here. But maybe you're saying something and it's wrong, and it's like you're saying, so Toronto is like the capital of Canada, yeah? I go, oh no, excuse me, that's not quite right. I'm going to say that to interrupt you before you say something else that's probably even more wrong, right? I'm like, no, excuse me, I think actually Ottawa is the capital, right? And he might go, my bad, dude, my bad, right? So when we went to interrupt a conversation, we say, excuse me, right? Or two people are talking. If you're at a restaurant in North America, Australia, you may have a waiter come out and go, excuse me, how was the meal? Because they're saying, I realize I'm interrupting your meal, but I want to check up on you. They're not doing something bad, right? Now, excuse me and pardon me have a similarity, which is going to be here, I'll come back to. But when we say pardon me, you're asking for forgiveness. Pardon me. Maybe you bump into someone, pardon me, sorry about that, right? So I use both of them. I'm very sorry I bumped into you because maybe you're really big. But I say, pardon me. And maybe I want to go past, you're standing talking to a friend, I go, pardon me, because I want to go by you, right? This is to excuse yourself, give yourself the ability to do something because you're sort of apologizing first that you're going to do something that will disturb another person. Cool? Now, interestingly enough, excuse me and pardon me can be said when you want someone to repeat what they said. So if someone's talking, you don't quite hear it, you go, oh, excuse me, what was that? It's a way of saying sorry. Excuse me, what did you say? Oh, pardon me, I missed that. Now, here's a little bonus for you. Tone is important. If someone says, excuse me, that's not, I'm sorry I didn't hear you. I heard you. I am not happy with what you said. And if you hear British people, they go, pardon me? And you're like, it's like, they're not asking for an excuse. They're like, you should be sorry for what you just said. I need you to say it again to my face while I'm standing here, right? So listen for the tone. If someone's like, excuse me, I didn't hear that. Could you repeat that, professor? Right? I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention for some reason. But if the professor goes, excuse me, you weren't paying attention, and the most important lesson I put out today, right? He's not asking for sorry. He's saying you should excuse yourself for this ignorance, like rudeness, right? Or not knowing better. So this is also both could be said to repeat what they were saying. Now, let's go back to, I said sorry is to say you made a mistake and you know it. But sometimes it's more serious than that. So this is for like serious mistakes. Okay, you've done something, oh, sorry isn't going to cut it, all right? Your best friend has a beautiful wife. You decide you need to be with that wife. Their relationship breaks up. You can't say, I'm sorry I broke up your relationship and took your wife. I don't think so. No, you need to come to that person's house and go, I want to apologize to you for what I have done. It was a terrible, awful thing and I should never have done it. Or, I want to apologize, for breaking up your relationship and having your children shipped off to a foreign country. I was a bad, bad human being. Sorry won't cut it. This is a serious mistake. It means I regret is like, I am sorry for doing this action. I regret doing what I did. It was bad. So I apologize. This one is another one. Please forgive me, let me go. Forgiveness, it means to, I'm going to say absolve, take away. any bad feelings you have on me, right? So you want to forgive me for doing something. I ask for your forgiveness because I have done something so badly. It's like I'm going, please, I need you to forgive me for this action I have done, all right? This is also strong. These are very strong. So you've done something serious here. Funny thing about please forgive me. Some people are very cheeky. What we mean by cheeky is a little bit rude. They'll say, you'll be having a conversation and maybe you're talking about, I don't know, it could be women's rights or it could be politics or something. And this person will come up in the middle of your conversation and go, please forgive me. And you're thinking they're apologizing because they haven't said anything. They're like, well, you haven't said anything. I was like, yes, well, I know what I'm going to say, and I need to say forgive me first because I'm about to say something to make you upset. Please forgive me, but you're totally wrong. Nothing you've said has been correct. Please shut up. And that's why they would start with please forgive me. So sometimes it's to ask for forgiveness, and sometimes if you are talking and someone goes, dear boy, please forgive me, oh, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation, okay? Now, do you remember I made the silly joke about someone taking your wife or a woman taking someone's husband? This doesn't have to be that, but I want to make amends. It means you have done something, you have a relationship with somebody, and you have done something so bad, this person has decided they don't want to know you, talk to you, or anything. I don't know what you did, right? Maybe you stole their donkey. I don't know what you did, okay? You did something to upset them that they decided, I don't want to be your friend. Maybe you stole money from them, you lied to them, you hit them, I don't know. You took their favorite Star Wars toy, you know, the one with the stormtrooper with the beady eyes, with the blue eyes, with the laser light. You took it and you hid it under your bed and you lied. You never gave it back. And they asked you time and time again and you said you didn't have. Sorry. Oh, Jesus, yeah. He's got to make amends for that. I'll never forgive him. But that's my point. See, someone does something so deep, it's in there, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? It hurts. So it's a bad joke. So you want to make amends, you need to repair a relationship. You're saying, whatever I did was bad. I know I did that. How do I fix this? Red means blood. I don't know when you're watching this video. It could be in the year 2020. It could be in the year 2029 or 2030. But at this particular time in history, we're going through an interesting period where everybody is offended by everything. So this statement is very interesting because when somebody says, and I'm going to tell you what the other one to this one is, I gave you the past tense. If I say to you, I didn't mean to offend you, it means I said something and I hurt your feelings, but I didn't mean to do this. I just said it and maybe I wasn't thinking, maybe I was drinking a little bit too much, I don't know what the situation was, or I didn't know enough about the subject before I started talking about it and it upset you. Maybe you have very good reason to be upset. Then I will say, I didn't mean to offend you. I really, really want to say Will Smith right now, but I'm not going to, okay? I'm not going to say it. Because this will be, in time, people will go, why did he say that? And you'll go back, 2021, 22, you'll understand. But okay, I didn't mean to offend you means I've said something to upset you, and I really didn't mean offense by it. Yeah, you're wondering why did he stop? Did he have a brain, something go wrong with his brain? Okay. If somebody says, I don't mean to offend, oh, baby, they do. You ever get in a conversation with someone who's like, well, excuse me, I don't want to offend you. What they're saying is, I'm going to offend you. I'm looking forward to it. Sit down and buckle up, buttercup. I got some stuff to say that you don't want to hear. So be very careful. I didn't mean to offend means honestly, and I said didn't, so please get this right. I didn't mean to offend is I seriously said something that I would never have said if it would have upset you. But if someone says, I don't want to offend you, they do want to offend you. They're just warming you up because they've kind of said sorry already. So like, because I've said sorry, I can say what I want. Now, you can take away what you want from that, meaning you might be the person who goes, I've got a few people to talk to, or you might say, oh, I have a few people to talk to. I should never have said that stuff. Cool? All right. Now, I've given you 3 different ways to use, well, not to use, sorry, 3 different ways to use other phrases or words that can actually be used in a better way than sorry because they give or convey a message that lets people understand really what you want to say. Now, we're going to come back, as you know, I've got a little quiz for you, and I've got some really good, well, something I find is important because I find even native speakers don't use these words, and they should. A way to say sorry in a special circumstance. You ready? And we're back. I'm sorry it took so long. Will you ever excuse me on that? Anyway, sorry. Let's go to the board. I'm going to do a quick quiz. Then we're going to do a bonus. And after we do the bonus, then I'm going to give you your homework for the day. You ready? All right. So, you're at a restaurant. Okay, it's really noisy. You didn't hear what the waiter said to you. What is the best response to let the waiter know you didn't hear them? Pardon me, or I apologize. Yeah, pardon me. Remember we said excuse me or pardon me can be said to have someone repeat what they said? Yeah? And what are you apologizing for? You didn't do anything wrong, you just didn't hear them. So pardon me is the best response. Number 2, you slept with your best friend's husband. What is the appropriate response? Whoops! Or I want to make amends. What do you think? This shouldn't take that long. Okay, clearly is I want to make amends because you probably have broken the relationship, you've broken their trust. If you say whoops, you might be going to the morgue. Morgue is the place they take the dead people after they kill you because you've done 2 things wrong now, right? Okay, number 3. What do you say to someone that has had a death in the family? Okay, what do you say? I didn't mean to offend, or my condolences. My condolences. Now, this is an interesting one. I want to give a quick aside. That means say something to add to the information. Many English native speakers have a difficulty with this particular thing. I've got a couple on the board I'm going to show you later on to expand on the idea of death. It's not a great topic. People don't like talking about it. But you want to have more than one way of saying it because so many people say the same thing the same way, like sorry. That it's not to make you stand out, but it's to have someone maybe feel more of what you wanted them to feel, that there's a regret, okay? And you know they're missing something. So keep this one in mind. We're going to come back to it, okay? Next, you spill water on a plastic floor by accident, okay? Water, plastic, accident. Which do you think is going to be? Whoops or my apologies? Yeah, whoops is appropriate here. You could say whoops, like whoops, it's plastic. Nothing's going to happen, it's plastic. It was an accident and it's water. You can't even see it unless, whoops, you fall. Okay, remember we said dropping, if you slide in the water, and you might go, whoopsie daisies, okay? All right, so that's my apology. Sorry, whoops. And now number 5, you are 2 hours late for a work meeting that you are responsible for. All right, your boss is there. Another company's there. They're all waiting for you, okay? You walk in, and what are you going to say to all of those folks that have been sitting there for 2 hours waiting for you? Yeah. Please forgive me. Let me go. Please forgive me. You have screwed up big time. This is a company meeting. You're responsible. You should be there. Whoop, my bad doesn't quite count it. Count it. Doesn't cut it. My bad, I was wrong, sorry for making you all wait. No. They will be more than a little bit upset and you might need a new job. You have to start off with, please forgive me. The airplane was late, the TTC broke down, or something, my car wasn't working. You need a big excuse, you need to start with this one. All right, I figured you got that, and I'm hoping you learned from this that sorry isn't the only thing you can say in a bad situation. And then we've worked on it that you've got different ways of approaching it. Now, to help you with the thing I thought was very important, because I've noticed when people had died and I'd used it, and I might have said the same thing over and over, and then many people would say it. Thank you, Facebook, for making me become aware of this situation. There are a couple of ways. I'm going to give you 3. There are many more that these will allow you to, when I say stand out, to maybe stand out a different message to someone. Because in a time of grief, that means great sadness, sometimes people don't catch information. And sometimes it's got to stand out for them to register, to understand and go, oh my gosh, thank you. Okay? My condolences. That means I'm very, very sorry for what has happened. These ones are only used for death. So please, if someone loses their job, don't say my condolences, you lost your job. It's not appropriate. That's why I took it separately and from the rest, so you know exactly when you're going to use this. Now, I'm sorry to hear about somebody's passing. John's passing, Bobby's passing. It means somebody has died. When passing, we mean passed from life to death. So somebody has passed away, they have died. They're no longer alive. So I am sorry to hear about John's passing, Bobby's passing, Karen's passing. Yeah, Karen should pass. Definitely Karen should pass. Joking. Okay. Now, I'm sorry for your loss, because we're saying when someone has died, you've lost some love in your life. Somebody you cared about and who cared about you, and we're very sorry for that. You can even say, I'm very sorry for your loss. Right? So sorry itself is not strong enough. Now we had to add more so people get the feeling there's more emotion in this. Cool? All right, so this is not that I'm having people die all over the place, but I think it's important to share this kind of knowledge that helps you really convey your emotions. This is communication after all. Now, I don't usually do this, but this was so cool. Let me say it again. This was so cool, I wanted to add it. All right? Because a lot of times people say sorry. I think Bieber or one of those guys has a song like, I'm sorry. And that's all they say. But a real apology, when you're really sorry about something, it's not just bumping into someone or dropping water. There are actually 3 parts, and we should recognize this, right? A real apology, or when you say sorry, there are 3 parts to it. First, apologize. I'm sorry. Please excuse me. I did not mean to do what I did. I wasn't trying to offend. Second, take responsibility. I did this. It was me. I made this mistake. And then third, make amends. How do I fix it? That's a real apology. So when you're saying sorry, if you're not really putting these 3 things together, I don't know how sorry you really are, right? Remember, it's like you made a mistake. If you know it, own up to it, take that responsibility, apologize, and then ask how to fix it. That's what the wise people do. All right, so finally, we got to do some homework because it wouldn't be a James class, if you didn't get homework. So I want you to think of a time you made a mistake. Which phrase would you use to say instead of sorry? Because now you've got like 9 of them, 10. Choose. Like you can kind of go, well, it wasn't such a big deal. I could say, whoops. I could say, my bad, right? Or you could say, I'm sorry about that. Or you could say something more like, please, I need to make amends, or what have you. You've got like lots of tools now. Now, here's an example of one you could use. Like, and you know what? In the comments, write it out. A friend has died. What would you say? I gave you 3 big ones on that. You could also be on the subway, right, or metro, and you pass gas in a crowded room. There's people sitting down while you're standing up and you pass gas. What would you say? Whoops. My bad. Sorry, my bad. I don't know. What would you say to these people, right? They're all sitting there going, whoa. I don't know. Okay, so this is something you can work on. Think about that. So if you can't think of a time you've done something, think of a situation and put it in the comments. We love it on Facebook, on engVid, and on YouTube. We love reading it and seeing what you guys do, what situations you'll be in. And perhaps that will help us think of a video that we could give to you that would help you in other situations. Cool? Anyway, I've got to get going, but before I go, I've got quote, okay? And the quote I have here, I like this one a lot. This is by Benjamin Franklin, an important American statesman and inventor. And he said, never ruin an apology with an excuse, right? Because what happens is a lot of times people will say, I'm sorry, but it was raining outside, that's why I didn't do it. Well, that's not an apology anymore. We go back to here, right? Make amends, take responsibility for it. So he was just saying, if you make an excuse after you apologize, it's not really an apology. But I know you better than that. I know you wouldn't do something like that. So what I would like you to do, oh, by the way, when you do this, because this is a good one and I think an important lesson, let's say it's 1,000,000 points, 1,000,000 points for each and every time you put a statement down and what happened and what phrase would you use. Cool? And I've noticed a lot of people are active and they do give out the points, so, put something down there. Anyway, where I want you to go is to www.ing, as in English, engVid as in video.com, where there will be a quiz with this, so you can get actually better or more practice with using these new terms I've given you for sorry. Is that cool? Anyway, please excuse me, I have to get going. Hope you enjoyed the video, and always, thank you. It's appreciated. It's because you come and watch these videos that I keep making them and hopefully bringing some wisdom, knowledge, helping you out in some way. Anyway, have a good one. Talk to you soon.